Recording live. Hey guys, welcome to Overthinkers Society. My name is Sue Lee and I make music. I recently started this vlog series called Overthinker Society on YouTube about topics that I think is worth pondering over and delving into and just going on a deep dive with. Down the rabbit hole we go. And I think it's really nice actually. I'm only 3-4 episodes in, and talking with you guys in the comments and DMs about the conversations that I've been having. It's been so fun and really therapeutic in ways I never imagined actually. A lot of you have said that it's helped you guys in realizing that you aren't alone and feeling in certain ways about things, and helped you feel a little less lonely in feeling or having thoughts about certain things. But I just wanted to let you guys know that you guys are actually helping and doing the same thing for me as well. And I'm forever grateful that I'm not alone and feeling the way I feel. So thank you. Thank you. Let's see. On this week's episode, I wanted to sit down and talk about love and insecurities, social love and self-love. I feel like those two topics are kind of one of those things that are seemingly quite unrelated to each other and quite far apart. But also, if you think about it, it's actually very, very closely related to a point where they influence each other massively. I think the main kind of inspiration behind my decision to talk about it this week is that I recently released a few days ago a new single called Slice of Life and When He Was Is. And When He Was Is in particular is a love song. And if you listen to my music, you would know that I don't usually write and make songs directly about romance and love relationships. Love songs are quite rare, actually, and far apart in my little archive of music. And so, having released a love song recently, I've naturally just been thinking a lot about it. And I found myself alongside thinking about love in general, also thinking a lot about self-confidence and self-love, or rather, on the contrary, insecurities. So yeah, let's dive into it. Let's talk about self-love. Let's talk about relationships. Let's talk about love. And yeah, so first and foremost, I think love as an elemental thing in and of itself is as you would all know, a very, very universal thing. We can probably say that love is basically everything. You know, your most adored hobby is love. Your family and friends are love. Your favorite food is love. Your favorite music is love, and your self-love is also love. You know, and while I say, social love in the context of this week's episode, it is strictly about romantic relationships, love. That doesn't mean that we can't bring in different aspects of love that influences that romantic relationship. Hence, me linking self-confidence and self-love and insecurities into this conversation, because I think the level of love and respect that you have for yourself, whether that may be physical or mental or a mix of both, really affects your outside relationships very, very closely. I think I picked up a lot of quotes, about how, love starts from within, or romance and a healthy relationship starts with self-love, or treat yourself the way you'd like to be treated from your lover, and the world and the rest of the world will love you back. Things along these lines, and mainly probably from, mainly I got these, quotes and inspirational sayings from those kind of posts that I saw during the heyday of Tumblr and Facebook, most likely. And while I think they're all very, very true, and I'm sure we all know this in our hearts, that you love yourself, it'll show, and others will love you back. It's true in many cases, I'm sure, but I don't think it really is as straightforward and simple and logical, most of all, as the Tumblr quotes or any quotes, really. I think if I had to pinpoint what really is the biggest difference between the love described in these quotes and love in real life, is the fact that they affect each other rather than one just passively affecting the other. A fulfilling and loving relationship in life doesn't always sprout from self-love, as a lot of these self-help and inspirational literature and the quotes say. It's never ever a one-way thing. I've personally found, at least. You can actually already have a very healthy level of self-respect and love, but go into a relationship, come out of the relationship with completely ruined self-confidence. Or on the contrary, you can have a very low self-respect and don't necessarily give yourself the love that you deserve, but meet someone who actually helps you realize that you're amazing, and by giving you the level of respect and love that you've never ever received from anyone before, even from yourself. Or you can actually be working on elevating the level of respect and that you give to yourself, all the while actually doing all the social love life stuff, dating, being in relationships, sex, etc., and manage to actually not have it affect your level of self-love in that kind of self-improvement territory in any way whatsoever. Completely have it detached from one another. And those three are just only a few examples of out of a million billion different dynamics that could exist in between, of how social love and self-love can affect or not affect each other. I think everybody has different aspects of weaving those two, sometimes quite consciously, but a lot of times just naturally due to personal character and your personalities or your backgrounds, etc., etc. And also in individuals as well, the dynamics also kind of change a lot throughout the course of one's life, I think. But in my case, personally, most of my life, at least, I think I've been someone who gets very, 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 very much dictated by my self-love or lack thereof. I let my self-confidence level control my life more than I'd like it to, for sure. And pretty much all my life, and I still am to a certain degree today, I always struggled. I always struggled with my self-image. I don't think I've ever felt comfortable fully in my own skin, and I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way too. Or I've never ever felt like I was attractive in any way. And it's really hard to leave out as well to the physical attributes when talking about this. I absolutely think that looks do play a role, however subjective that may be on different levels, in relation to love and self-love in specific. But I think I'm starting to realize, for me personally at least, it was never really about what I see in the mirror per se that causes me to feel almost destructively self-conscious at times. I think, oh, if I gain a few pounds here, lose a few pounds there, have clearer skin, or have nicer hair, or look like her, look like him, be taller, I'll finally be able to feel like I deserve to be, deserve the love for myself as well as be loved by others. But that was never the case. That was never the case. And the same thing goes for, mental behavioral things as well. If I don't stutter, if I nail all the jokes, if I'm funnier, if I act more calm and elegantly and with grace, I'll be worthy of love. But that was also never the case. I think it's just more generally about how much power you let that destructive inner voice and argument take over your emotions and consequently your social actions, more so than the looks and the appearance and the external things in and of itself. And my inner voice is mean. It's really mean. I wouldn't let myself love myself as much as I'd like to. It's upsetting because no matter how much I try, no matter how much I'd love to let the love flow, I'm not able to. Not at least at the moment, or through the course of my life. I want to, at times I get lonely, or, I want a boyfriend, I don't know, or I want to be in love, I want to be loved and I want to give love back. But my own self tells me that I can't. It's, and because for whatever reason, it would make up all sorts of reasons. True or not, it just always comes up with the right reason. You don't speak well enough, you're not attractive enough, you're not funny enough, you're not experienced enough, you're not cool enough, or, worst of all of them. And I'm still working on it. I'm only just, I think, just starting to learn how to properly listen to my own conflicting thoughts, let alone being able to control it or alleviate some pain and tension from that are caused by these conflicts. I'm only just starting to be aware. And that's why I think, and I say this for myself, but also probably for those of you guys who might feel similar and can relate to this, that many of the romantic relationships, the social love that we get into, if any, sometimes ends up causing a lot more pain and heartbreaks than more so than the positive, amazing, beautiful emotion of sharing mutual love. Because I'm still struggling with maintaining a healthy level of love for myself, I think I sometimes get a little more prone to trying to prove myself to others, if that makes sense. Trying to seek that love from someone other than myself. And sometimes actually just end up giving more credit and putting more value than necessary on trying to be liked by a particular person that that I'm interested in, or just people in general. Basically head over heels, but on very stupid toxic level. Um, and I usually don't really, or try my best not to, think too much about this, or overanalyze when it comes to love life and love interests, because, and this is one thing that I know from experience, and it's that in the face of falling in love with somebody, all theories, all logic, all these these overthinking rambles just go straight out the window. It makes no sense in the face of falling in love. So, while I've kind of theorized how, my still ongoing strive to love myself a little more than I do now may be affecting the love life socially in a not so healthy way. That isn't to say that it's a solid, rigid state that I'll always be innately. Is that the right way to say it? I believe, like I said, I believe in the dynamics, that the dynamics can change massively in the course of somebody's life. And, that could be due to having a better perception of myself, or maybe even meeting someone who I might have a different chemistry with, a better chemistry with. And, the fact that it's probably never going to be this way forever, and it's never a rigid state that I'm in, it makes me hopeful. It really gives me hope. I'm still working on love, self-love, allowing myself to experience mutual social love, and it needs a lot of work, but I'm hopeful it can be changed. It can change for the better, for sure. It's pretty optimistic, isn't it? Well, yeah, I guess that's it for today's philosophical ramble. I hope that again you've enjoyed your meals while watching or listening to this podcast, and thanks. And actually, this week on my channel I've got another little Joji cover coming up. I'm a big fan of Joji. And so I made a little cover version of Give Me Love by Joji, so stay tuned. That's coming soon this week. That's it. And leave a comment again, how you feel about things. I'm always reading the comments, that, and always replying the best I can. So talk to me. And talk to you guys soon again in the next vlog next week. And peace out. Thank you. Bye.